The courtroom was tense that morning. Every single seat was filled. Lawyers whispered back and forth, and the judge calmly reviewed the case files. At the defendant's table sat Staff Sergeant Michael Turner, a soldier in the U.S. Army. He was dressed in a plain suit, his shoulders held straight, his hands folded neatly in front of him. Years of strict military discipline showed in his posture, but nothing about him screamed for attention. Across the room stood a sharp, confident attorney, a woman known for her aggressive and confrontational style. As the cross-examination began, her tone shifted, becoming laced with condescension. "So, Sergeant Turner," she said, a smirk playing on her lips, "you're trained to follow orders, not think for yourself." "Correct." A few quiet chuckles rippled through the gallery. Michael, however, remained calm. "I'm trained to make decisions under pressure, ma'am," he replied evenly. She stepped closer, circling him like a predator. "Interesting," she shot back. "Because, from what I see, you're just a soldier pretending to understand civilian law." The atmosphere in the room grew heavy and uncomfortable. The judge watched the exchange closely, his expression unreadable. Michael said nothing. He had learned a long time ago that silence can be a far more powerful response than anger. The attorney pressed on, her voice getting louder. "You expect this court to believe your testimony. After all, soldiers are taught to obey no questions asked." That was the breaking point. Michael's lawyer stood up. "Your Honor," he said firmly, "I request permission for the defendant to explain his background." The judge nodded. "Proceed." Michael rose slowly to his feet. "I joined the Army when I was 18, he began, his voice steady and clear. "I served 3 combat deployments. I led men through situations where a moment's hesitation meant death." The entire courtroom stilled, hanging on his every word. "I wasn't trained to insult people," he continued. "I was trained to protect, to think clearly, and to act responsibly, especially when lives are at stake." He then looked directly at the opposing attorney, not with anger, but with unwavering dignity. "I respect this court," Michael said. "That's why I stayed silent when I was mocked." No one moved. No one spoke. Even the sharp-tongued attorney lowered her eyes, unable to meet his gaze. The judge leaned forward in his chair. "This court will not tolerate disrespect," he said, his voice sharp and authoritative, especially toward someone who has served this country with honor. A deep, undeniable silence followed, heavy with meaning. From that moment on, the rest of the trial shifted completely. Michael's testimony stood strong. The facts were clear, and the truth became undeniable. When the verdict was finally read, he was cleared of all accusations. As people filed out of the courtroom, the whispers that followed him were no longer of ridicule, but of profound respect. Outside, a reporter rushed up to him. "How did it feel being insulted like that in there?" Michael answered calmly. "I've faced worse than words. What matters is how you carry yourself when you're tested." And with that, the soldier walked away not victorious through force, but through honor, restraint, and quiet strength. Thanks for watching.